What's up, everybody? James Ng here today. I got a fun conversation ahead. And before I get into this, I welcome open-mindedness, but I also welcome debate. And we're going to talk about a heated topic, and it is the MLM or multi-level marketing debate. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, like this, share this, subscribe to our YouTube, put this and all of our other replays there as well too. And my goal here today is to be an objective conversationalist and a debater. And I welcome anyone to comment below, whether live or in replay, on your viewpoints as we go through this. But just heads up that in any debate, the best debates, what characterizes them is number one, open-mindedness. What's going on, Chuck? What's up, Nate? Number two, respect. And number three is some logic. So I know that when we talk about things that could be debatable, if you've ever watched politics or you watch someone talk about their best sporting teams, I know the Super Bowl just happened, so sorry for all the all the fans of Philadelphia, So when you get into any debate, if you want it to be productive, my intention today is to be able to talk about both sides of the coin in a very balanced way. And my goal is not to sway anybody in one direction or another. Right now, up front, I will tell you, I've been an MLM professional for the past decade. I got started in network marketing / multi-level marketing back in 2009. So it's a very near and dear part to me personally. But my goal today is not to impose my values on anybody. I will say up front that MLM as a business is not perfect. MLM is not everyone's dream business. I believe God has a dream for every single person, so it's not to say everyone should be in this type of business or real estate as a business or a teacher, or we can never say that about anything. However, today I want to talk facts. I want to talk good, the bad, and the ugly. And I welcome you as we go through this conversation. I'll kind of debate against myself, but if you have comments, drop them below, whether live or in replay, and I'd love to hear about it. But let me start with a quick story on this. We've been talking about recession-proof business tips. And I just went through a series. If you missed it, be sure to subscribe, go to my YouTube, watch all the previous ones. But I talked about the 5 things to look for in a recession-proof business. And to recap, number one, in recession-proof business, you have something that's a unique, consumable, in-demand product. Number 2, you have something that's low cost and high margin. Number 3, you have something that's scalable online. Number 4, you have something that can create leverage of your time, energy, money. And number 5, you have something that gives you training and support. If you have those 5 elements in a business, then you have a pretty recession-proof business as long as you put in the work. I then submitted that I believe that from those 5 elements that MLM or network marketing is a recession-proof business. In fact, it could be one of the best recession-proof businesses. It's actually one of the business models, the few business models, unlike real estate, for example, mortgages, those are kind of tougher times to be in during a recession. MLM actually explodes during recessions because this is when people are seeking opportunities. They're seeking different ways to be able to create extra income for them and their families. And MLM is a very convenient and simple way for people looking to be able to create an extra stream of income to be able to do so. However, today I want to talk about the points around it. And I'll start with this. And I believe that this debate will be good because, a tow business is hard, right? Yeah. I believe I'm the best debater on this because I was the most skeptical to this day. Now, I've dealt with tens of thousands of prospects, clients, and partners all throughout network marketing in the past 14 years. And to this day, I don't think I've met anybody as negative or skeptical or critical about network marketing or multi-level marketing than myself. All right. I kind of feel like if you're a student of the Bible, I kind of feel like Paul. Paul wrote like a third of the New Testament. Paul, the reason why he was such a devout Christian is because before he was Paul, he was Saul. If you don't know who Saul is, Saul persecuted the Christians. He killed Christians. So he said that because he was the worst persecutor, he became the best advocate when he understood the truth of things, right? So I understand all the critique and I want to address those head on today. And I'd love to hear what you think about things. And I'd love to hear your comments below as well, too. Once again, my goal is not to be right. My goal is to just present the facts of things and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So to start it off, when I first got, and I wonder who here, if you're involved in an MLM right now, put a 1 in the comments. If you've at least been presented with a multi-level marketing, MLM, network marketing, it's all the same word. If you've been presented the opportunity at some point, put a 2 in the chat. So yeah, a lot of people I don't think most people, no one has, I'm going to be in network marketing on their career day once when they're growing up. It just wasn't one of the career options, right? So this is what happened. I was 19 years old. I was going to school at UC Berkeley, and I was sold that I was totally going to be a doctor. I was like, that's my path. But it was recession 2009, so I was thinking about a way to be able to recession-proof myself, a plan B. So I was looking for some extra income. I was looking for opportunities. I didn't have any work experience. So lo and behold, one of my friends introduces me, and he was dressed sharp, and he's like, hey, you got to take a look and meet my mentor. I'm like, sweet, mentorship, let's go. Young, silly, don't know my butt from my elbow when it comes to business. And next thing you know, this is back in 2009, he drags me out to 100 miles away from Berkeley to Sacramento. If you don't know where that is, it's a far drive on a weeknight. Like, I'm like, dang, I got school and stuff. I got homework, right? We drive 100 miles out. We go to a house, and I'm getting more and more skeptical along the way. In fact, already in the very beginning, I was skeptical because I asked my friend, I'm like, hey, where are we going? And he told me, you'll find out. I'm like, okay, this might be some kidnapping, but all right, let's go see what goes on, right? So we end up pulling into a neighborhood, second red flag. I'm like, yo, isn't this supposed to be some huge, like, multi-million-dollar company? Isn't this supposed to be some huge publicly traded company or something? Why are we going to someone's house? And I go there, and to be honest, I was judging everything. All right, this is 19. Don't judge me, right? But I was going to UC Berkeley. I thought I was super smart. I followed the path and everything, right? And I wound up in this room. And to be honest, right away, I was judging everybody. I was around people, and nothing against anybody. I think a formal education, in terms of a school, does not mean you're intelligent or not. It just means you're good at a test and you can afford it, or your family can afford it, or you get government aid, right? However, this was my mindset before, 19-year-old me. And I'm like, I'm going to UC Berkeley. And the people I was meeting there, while they did do well, there were people I was meeting making a good 5-figure income, a good 6-figure income through their part-time businesses. Many of them were college dropouts, or they went to community college. I could tell they weren't academically smart. And I held that against them because that's the only claim to fame that I had, to be honest, because I didn't make money for myself. I didn't have anything else going to myself. I was super shy, very low self-confidence. So I could only hang on to the fact that I could pass a test. So I was judging immediately. So I'm sitting there in the room, and I wonder if you've been through this before. I was sitting there in this room. I'm like, why am I here? And then they pull out their presentation, and they start drawing these bubbles. And I never was presented with network marketing or multi-level marketing prior to that day. However, I did kind of hear about this concept. And the only concept that I heard was from hearsay from other people. And all I heard was the term pyramid scheme. It's one of those things where all the top people on the top make all the money. It's one of those things where you just recruit your friends and family, and people don't make money and stuff like that. So I had that in my mind. I didn't understand the business. So when I saw that they were drawing up the compensation plan and it was in the shape of a pyramid, side note, any organization is in the shape of a triangle. Government is, school is, your job is. But hey, that's what I was thinking, like, straight pyramid. Oh my gosh, super red flags going on. I wonder if you've had this experience before. I'm like, I can't believe my friend dragged me 100 miles out. He scammed me. they were trying to talk to me afterwards. And you know what happened? I was just like being extra polite. And I was so negative to the point. And they at the end, they asked you, you're an A, B, or C. A means you're excited, right? You're gonna get started. B means you have questions. C means you're like just not for you, right? I didn't say C because I don't like saying no to people. But I said B. But in my mind, I was like, hell no, I'm not getting involved in this deal. I am out of here. I'm never going to see this again. In fact, I thought I was being extra smart, broke college student thinking here. I was in a frat back in the day. And that company that I saw, they were a health company. They had energy drinks. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll like, if I came here, if you're here, might as well be here, right? So I end up going there and I'm like, let me try to get something free. I don't know if you guys can resonate with me or not, but so I went up to the presenter and I'm like, hey, I'm still thinking about this and totally lying through my teeth. A white lie. I'm thinking about this. I'd love to be able to test out the product. I think this could do well in my college fraternity. Can I try out some of those energy drinks? And he gave me 3 cans. Little did I know those are pretty expensive energy drinks. They're health drinks. So there was like $10. That's a lot of money for a 19-year-old broke college student, right? That was 2 meals. And I'm like, score! And I go away and I'm like, see ya. I'm never going to see this ever again. I can't believe my friend brought me here. I am never dealing with network marketing, multi-level marketing again. I couldn't believe I got dragged out to one of those things. Now, I wonder if you've had that experience before. And if you did, I apologize because that's not how it's supposed to be. And I believe that's where a bad connotation of network marketing or multi-level marketing can come, is before, at least, it was very secretive. Before, people were trained to never divulge the company name, to never give any information, to only allow people to see the presentation when it was there and not tell them anything else, to not spoil the secret, so to speak, not spoil the presentation. I get it, but it wasn't trained well. Well, 14 years later, I'm still here. Why? Well, what happened is my friend was persistent, and he followed up with me, and I got introduced to someone that was a mentor, that became a mentor. And the reason why I ended up deciding to join as network marketing, it wasn't to make money. I didn't even think I could make money. It wasn't the product. While I liked health, that I was 19, it was because I saw that I could become someone more. I could learn more. I found a mentor. He was making 6 figures working part-time. He was a college dropout, ironically, but he was making more than his parents combined. And it was really the way he carried himself. He was professional. He was confident. He was someone that I wanted to be like. And I joined because I joined him. And that changed my life. 90 days later, I picked up the skills. It paid better than a part-time job. A couple years later, it became my full-time profession. It paid better than my full-time job. And for the past 11 years, I've been full-time as a professional network marketer. It's changed our lives. We run a global business now, me and my wife. Without this business, I wouldn't have recruited my now wife. She was my second recruit ever, and she eventually became my wife. So I owe my life to this type of business, to this type of profession. But that's where my background comes from, just so you know. So I've been on the side of super skepticism. I get it. And I've also been on the side of decently successful as well, too. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's talk about the ugly first, right? And once again, if any of this does resonate at all, just comment below what your thoughts are. If you have any questions as well, we are going and diving into this. What's the ugly side of network marketing? The first, and I think the biggest one, is this, is unprofessionalism. Unprofessionalism. And this is probably the biggest thing that I see that causes people to have a bad taste in their mouth about network marketing. Because it's kind of like, whether it's intentional or unintentional, we deal with people that are untrained. And when we're dealing with someone that's untrained, it's kind of like if you've ever been to any store, have you ever dealt with a bad salesperson? Like, it's a whole used car salesman example where you can feel that they got money in their eyes, and it's called commission breath. Like, they just want you to sign up, not because they want to help you. They want you to sign up because they want to make money off of you. Now, that in itself, I would say, why is that more prevalent in network marketing? compared to other businesses? Is it? I think it's more of a ratio thing. Because in network marketing, compared to other business models, the pro is that MLM is cheap to get started in. It can be from a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000 for a business. Because it's cheap, it's very accessible, which is great because it gives everybody, if they're seeking some type of opportunity, it gives them a legitimate opportunity. However, on the flip side, if the doorway is low, the cost of entry is low, that also means anybody can join as well too. If you have a $500,000 entry point, you're probably going to sway away and deter a lot of people that wouldn't be professional, right? If you're going to drop $500,000 to a business, you're probably going to take it real serious. But if you have a couple $1,000s maximum, it could, just because of the entry point, the type of people that can get involved may or may not be professional. And we just don't know. You get a lot more different types of business owners that may or may not know what they're doing. So because of that, people come in, and once again, I won't judge their intention. I believe that generally people want the best of intention. I believe generally most people aren't scam artists as a whole. I think generally people want to help other people and they're well-meaning, that when they join some type of opportunity, whether it's MLM or affiliate marketing or real estate or anything, they intend to help. They intend to do well for them and their families. But with a lack of training, what happens is miscommunication can happen very easily. And I know how it was, because when I got started, I totally butchered it. I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't understand interpersonal communication. This is a person that I was so shy prior to getting involved in business that I couldn't even order food at a fast food restaurant type of shy. So what do you do? So there's a lot of people that can come in and varying levels of commitment, because if you only spend a couple hundred, a couple $1,000s, your commitment isn't that intense, right? Like, it's like people don't take it as serious. So because of that, they could not take their training as seriously, if there is even training. And because of a lack of training, there's unprofessionalism. And that unprofessionalism has unfortunately led to income claims, people feeling like they need to inflate how much they make and say, hey, you're going to make hella money and just join. Or it's inflated product or service claim saying, this thing's going to heal your cancer. That's illegal. You can't say those things. It's people that are well-meaning typically, but a little desperate and untrained, that want to go into the marketplace, make a profit, and deliver the message wrong. And just because there's a lot of people, the company I'm partnered with has 400,000 partners around the world. So out of that, there's always going to be good, bad, varying levels of professionalism, right? So because there's more people and those experiences can happen, and because most businesses, including MLM, is a relationship building business, you start any business, you start up a restaurant, typically the first people that you talk to are your friends and family. Hey guys, I'm starting a restaurant, come check it out, right? Usually that's how it is. But especially with network marketing, multi-level marketing, friends and family typically are the first people that you're going to go to. And unfortunately, with a lack of professionalism, the notion could be forceful. It could be like, please, 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 please buy, a desperate type of behavior or mindset. And because of that unprofessionalism, what happens is this: people could be offended, people could get hurt. Wrong things or wrong expectations could be set about income generation and also benefits from the product or service that's being given. And when expectations are not met, it's just like if you've ever bought food before, and if you bought something at a restaurant and it came out not how you liked it, you don't like that. And that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, literally. But in business, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth as well, too. If this makes sense at all, put a comment yes below. We are going through the MLM debate, talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm just trying to explain what goes on and why it goes on. And I wonder what you think, right? So unprofessionalism is the biggest thing, I believe, because of low cost of entry. and varying levels of commitment. You have a lot of part-timers that honestly just like the product, and they just want to like share it, but they don't know what they're talking about, right? Another aspect that lends to unprofessionalism is lack of training. If you buy a McDonald's franchise, it costs $1.2 million on average. You are sent to Hamburger University. Literally, it's called Hamburger University. You know that? You buy a franchise, they give you a system, a business system. Of course, you buy the rights to sell their product, you buy the rights to have McDonald's, but really what you're buying is an operating system. How do you staff your employees? How do you run the whole restaurant? How do you market? How do you promote? How do you get a customer through the door? How do you service them? There's elements to business of getting a client, supporting that client, marketing, promotion, operations. Businesses, there are systems that need to be understood and ran. So you don't just buy a franchise just for the rights to sell their things. You also buy a system. So in multi-level marketing, depending on the company and or the organization that you join, they may or may not have training included. It depends. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you are a responsible leader, I think that we don't just in MLM, we should not just sell people an opportunity without the capacity to help them to do well. While it is everybody's own individual obligation as a business owner to learn and to apply, I think it's just responsible that if you're going to give somebody a car to drive, you should probably teach them how to drive the car. Otherwise, if they don't have a driver's license, they're going to injure a lot of people. If you give someone a gun, you should probably license them. Otherwise, you're going to injure some people. So it's not the gun that's an issue. It's not the car that's an issue. It's the person that's untrained is the issue. If that makes sense. So if you're going to give someone a business vehicle, I think it's wise to quote unquote license or to train or to make sure that they're equipped with the training necessary that if they actually follow the training and if they follow the protocol, they could get results, they could do it professionally, and they could actually succeed according to their expectation. Now, unfortunately, once again, because there's such a low cost of entry, it depends where people join. Unfortunately, most people don't even know. They don't even know what to ask these questions. So if you're ever going to look into a multi-level marketing business for you or your family, one of the biggest questions that I would ask is, what's the system? In fact, I know I'm dealing with a high-level network marketer. When they ask me not what the product is, not what the comp plan is, they ask me, what's your system? Now I'm like, oh, wow, they understand business, because that's really what builds a business. Who makes a better burger in California? Is it In-N-Out or is it McDonald's? Obviously, it's In-N-Out, or maybe it's White Castle for you, or Shake Shack, or whatever that it is. Comment below. What's your favorite hamburger, by the way? I'd love to know. But McDonald's has sold billions and billions of dollars. Why? It ain't the burger. It's their system. So they found a way to be able to scale a system because they built it. So in a business, as good as the product is or isn't, some people say, well, I got to get involved in the company with the best product in the world. That's, first of all, you cannot say that about you. How can you say that one thing is the best thing in the world? That's another thing that I'd say can happen in multi-level marketing when people are so sold out on their company, where they say, this is the one-stop shop for everything everywhere. I'll be real with you, right? So the business I'm a part of, they have 100 different products. I have some favorites. I love these fat loss drops. I love this youth elixir thing. These are great. They have many others too, but I don't use everything because, well, first, that's a lot. Can I say everything is the best for me? No. A lot of it's good. I think it's better than most, but it would be unprofessional, and it would be very like self-assuming to say that we have the one-stop shop for everything. But it's good enough. It's very good. It's unique. But going back to the point, the ugly part in network marketing or multi-level marketing is that unless you got born into and happen to get brought into a good training system and good support, many people are left as what we call orphan reps or orphan partners. In fact, maybe you've had this experience. And if you had, I'm sorry. Like, you're like, James, why are you sorry? You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. Because I feel responsibility being in the network marketing profession, that is something that is an issue. I believe people should have a good opportunity if they do decide to join network marketing at some point, some capacity, whether it's a part-time or full-time or whatever. I believe that the right thing to do is to provide legitimate training that if someone is actually serious and committed to following the training, they can actually get some type of results. Right? I think that's an obligation that needs to happen. Otherwise, there's a lot of injuries that happen, right? So once again, if you did have that, I'm sorry. One of my top leaders now, she's a retired registered nurse. She did 9 other MLMs, made no money. 10th one was here with us. She crushed it. She achieved her dream. She retired. She got her dream car, blah, 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 right? Why? Different training. Training is important. So there is the ugly. I think it's usually because of a lack of professionalism. And with a lack of professionalism because of low cost of entry or because of lack of training within that organization or business itself, that people are thrown into the field and it's sink or swim. And if you were like me, I was a 19-year-old broke, shy college student. And I had no idea my butt from my elbow on how to do sales, business, marketing. I never even worked. So what made me think if I didn't have training that I could actually do well? Fortunately, and here's the good. If you find the right network marketing business, if you find one that has good, legitimate products, one that is scalable online, one that has a legitimate compensation plan where you'll be paid fairly, one where you're going to be able to have a pretty cool comp plan because you can leverage from team effort, and you find good training. If you take that training seriously, you can do well. If you do what they do, you make what they make. So I was blessed to be protected. I thank God that it brought me into a good organization with good mentors. And I just followed the system. I learned how to be professional. I learned how to communicate. I learned how to present. I learned how to follow up. I learned how to do business, right? I learned how to market, promote, to lead, to duplicate. And that was able to build a substantial and a successful business because I found good training or mentorship. So the good is if you find the right MLM, you basically have free mentorship. Yeah, you have to spend time and sometimes there's training fees and stuff like that. But compared to other businesses, I mean, business mentorship can cost a lot of money. We've spent over $50,000 in coaching and investments personally into coaching and all that for business. So we understand it's important to invest into yourself. Yeah, great mentors are a huge, huge thing. So there's the ugly side of it. The other ugly side, I would say, is just I think the thing that people get a gripe about network marketing is there's like this stigma that isn't true, but it's a lack of education. It's a stigma of, oh, MLM is one of those things. Oh, it's one of those things that doesn't sound as cool. It's one of those things that I can't believe you're involved. It's like lower class. It's getting better because of social media, but there's this like unspoken stigma that it's like, ew. It's like this thing. And I get that, but I believe that's up to the world to be able to have better conversations about this topic, to have better conversations about multi-level marketing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, to have open forms of professional communication, to see what's right and see what's wrong. And I believe that stigmas come just from lack of awareness. Why do stereotypes exist in races and ethnicities? Are Asians all smart? No, for sure not. Are African Americans all great athletes? No, for sure not. Right? Like, why are there these stereotypes? Well, it's a lack of awareness and an overarching blanket statement that we as people tend to cast because we oversimplify things. The only way that our brain can comprehend a lot of things is we have to be able to like consolidate information. So the easiest way is to cast a stereotype over a group of people. Same thing in multi-level marketing. for many, it's easy to just stereotype and cast an overarching thing over this entire profession because of lack of awareness. So I believe education, information, conversations like this, debates like this are important to have so we can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. So there's a lot more topics on this. There's a lot more things on this as well too. But I wanted to address at least the biggest points about the ugly parts about network marketing or multi-level marketing. And it really does come down to improper training and unprofessionalism. And let me end with this. If you do network marketing professionally, if you choose to be ethical and morally well with this. In fact, when I finally decided in the beginning, I talked about I was just most skeptical about network marketing. You can go back to the beginning and hear that again. When I finally made the decision to sign on the dotted line, I made a commitment under my, like a unspoken commitment that I'd encourage, if you're in network marketing or multi-level marketing, or you're considering getting involved in that profession or any business, to be honest, this is what I said. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this morally, ethically, and professionally. I'm going to do this morally, ethically, and professionally. And I made that commitment. I'm going to commit. Professionals train. So I took training seriously. I didn't just want to do a bad job. I wanted to learn and study. So I started to study the skill sets. I started to practice. I would record myself doing my prospect calls. I would listen to myself and say, is this coming off the right way with the right intention? You know, I would ask for feedback from my coaches and it'd be bad at the beginning, but how's my presentation? Like, man, you suck. And I did, for sure. But I wanted to become a professional. If you're going to do anything, commit to being a professional. If you're going to do something, do it right. Commit to being ethical. Ethical meaning just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's a lot of things that can happen because when there's deadlines and promotions that happen, lines can be crossed. You can sign up your dog as a fake account, for example, in your business. You can start to give people other things that are unethical or just not wise. Paying for other people's products just so you can earn a promotion. And it's products that you don't even want. And then they come back and they blame the company saying that thing didn't work. I got into so much debt. Well, it's actually their own decision. You don't have to, you're not forced to buy anything. Do it ethical, right? Have some standards with things. If you are dealing with the prospect and being a professional means this, is that if you don't genuinely feel that what you're presenting to them, whether it's product or service or opportunity, if you don't feel this is the best thing for them, an ethical professional does not sign them up, or they'll give them encouragement against. I don't want everyone to sign up in my business or to sign up with my product. I want to deliver the value and I want them to be informed and educated. And if it makes sense that what we have can solve their problem or help, then it's also my ethical duty to do my best job of conveying that value and to help them actually get started. Sales is ethical if you do it well. Sales is service if you do it professionally. So ethically, number 2, I said, and number 3 is morally correct. There's just some things. If it crosses God's laws, don't do it. If you're lying, if you're slandering people, if you're trying to manipulate, if you're trying to tear down others to make you look good, if you're trying to bash another company or another product or another leader, if you don't got something good to say, don't say it at all, right? So do things morally well. Do things as a professional and do things ethically. If you commit to doing that, I will tell you this. And if you have good training, take it serious. I will tell you this, that the opportunity that multi-level marketing or network marketing gives in terms of an income generating stream that can produce you massive, passive, and residual exponential income is possible. Whether that's $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, or $1 million a month. I've seen people all throughout the charts with this type of business. It's a limit. It's a business, right? The more products you sell, the more you're going to make. So it has the capacity to be life transformative. It also has the capacity to do it in a way where you don't have to sacrifice your life because you have leverage. You build sales teams, you build sales organizations, and it's the easiest way to create leverage in a business setting. If you run a Microsoft, you got to go hire a bunch of people, you got to raise a lot of money. It's a lot of risk and it's a lot of headache because you're hiring employees. In a multi-level marketing business, you don't hire anyone, you partner. So when you partner, we have equal opportunity. Because we have equal opportunity, you're motivated, I'm motivated. In a perfect world, we have to do train a business mindset on things as well too. But it has the best capacity of leverage and duplication because everybody has the same invested interest. Okay, so that's a big thing. And the last part I would say is if you do multi-level marketing wisely, not only does it have a good income potential for a very low cost, not only does it also have a great opportunity to give you actual legitimate time freedom. It's the only business in the world I've seen people be able to actually travel with their family, not need to work and just do what they want to do. Freedom. And the last thing is this, is a spiritual thing. I believe that we were all put here to do a couple of things. We get joy when we're creating, when we are entrepreneurial. We're most like a creator when we're creating. We're also most fulfilled when we are connecting. We are designed and born to be in relationship. So what I like about network marketing is that you're actually in community typically. You have friends automatically. You have family automatically. You're connected with people that are like-minded. You're never going to make, some of my best friends came from network marketing because we're all entrepreneurial, ambitious, and want to work on ourselves, you know. But the last thing I'd say is this is we're also most fulfilled when we are contributing. When you're creating, you're connecting, and you're contributing. You have fulfillment to the deepest levels to the spiritual core. The reason why I'm still involved in network marketing now, because we can make money in many different ways. We have other businesses, we have many things that we can do. But the reason that we still are just so, we have a high respect for multi-level marketing is you can't put into dollar amounts the feeling that you get when you give someone a transformative product and they come up to you and they use it and they said, this saved my life. This transformed my life. Without this, my life would not be the same. I have people coming up to me. They say, James, I tried everything and now I lost 40 pounds in a couple of months. And I feel amazing. I regained my confidence. How do you put a dollar amount on that? When you're able to give the mom that was stressed out, trying to juggle her bills, trying to juggle her family, trying to juggle her sanity, you gave her purpose again. And she's excited now. And she's a different mom at home. When you give the defeated dad, the one that's stressed out because of bills and supporting the family, you give them a legitimate opportunity and they have the ability to have hope again. And they make $500 and they're able to use that and they're able to take out their family for a nice dinner that they before wouldn't have been able to afford. Like this type of impact is so visceral. It's so hands-on. It's like if you like helping people and you get a joy and a kick out of that, and I believe all of us do because all of us are wired to contribute, the type of transformation that can happen within multi-level marketing is not just in wealth, which it can, it's not just in health, which it can, but it's in life. And I truly believe that lives transform when you do things wisely in network marketing more than anything else. It is the best boots on the ground way, grassroots way of entrepreneurship, leverage for freedom on money and time, and for impact. And when you're involved, it's just addicting because transforming lives, that never gets boring. I believe it's the best way for church outside of church to be able to love your neighbor as yourself, to be able to transform lives. And because of all those, while there are ugly sides and bad sides of multi-level marketing, there are also beautiful, good, amazing sides of multi-level marketing as well too. So with that said, there's the end of this debate. I'd love to hear in your comments below. Curious, If you are involved in network marketing, what are your thoughts on things? And my encouragement, my message to you is become a professional. And if you're going to do it, become a professional. Like, do it well. Like, stop, don't play small. That's honestly not leading the profession into a good direction. We need to up level our standards as people and business people and entrepreneurs and just ethical, moral people as a whole. That we should be the most loving, we should be the most professional. If you're somebody that is not involved or you've been exposed to multi-level marketing and maybe you had a bad taste in your mouth, first of all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened. I hope you can see that it's not the business model itself, because the business itself is just a thing. Just like a gun is a thing or a car is a thing. The reason why hurt happens in anything, including this type of business, is untrained or unprofessional or sometimes immoral people using the thing to harm other people. So you just met with someone that, regardless of this business or not, they were doing something that they were trying to hurt somebody. That happens, right? So I'm sorry that you dealt with that person. But I'd also encourage the person that's had a bad taste in their mouth to have an open-minded skepticism, because that's what I did. When I said, hell no, to this thing, I then started to investigate the logic and actually investigated the information itself. I investigated the facts of what this business was and what it wasn't. I learned the different terminologies. Like, I wanted to actually understand it so I could make an educated, informed decision. I'd encourage you to do the very same thing as well too. And I'm not saying to join it, but at least to understand it so that you can be informed yourself. And as long as you're informed, then and don't judge. That's what I encourage as well too, because it's not helping anybody. Be well informed, and it could be for you, could not be for you. But I implore you to do some more research. If you're saying this is one of those pyramid things, or that's one of those things where people make it on top, I got news for you. Probably need some education on it, because that is not how network marketing works. So go take a look. I have some videos I'd love to be able to share with you, and that can help. Okay. So other than that, if you are open-minded to looking at another stream of income, if you are looking for a way to recession-proof you and your family, and you're open-minded to taking a look at a legitimate multi-level marketing business, could be for you, could not be for you. I am in a phase right now where we have an organization called the Warrior Movement. We're big on training online entrepreneurs to make money from your phone in an easy, simple, and lucrative way. If you're interested in more information, then I'd love to talk. Share with you what we got going on. There's unique timing on things. We're really excited. I'm more excited right now about this business than I have been in my entire 14 years. Let's just put it that way. Some unique windows of opportunity for the new person. So if you are open-minded and you're looking for different opportunities, fill out the work with me form in my caption, or message me privately. I'd love to link you to some information, and then we can take a look from there as well too. But regardless of where you stand, here's the MLM debate. If this encouraged you, impacted you, or interested you, like this, subscribe, comment, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next sessions of Recession Proof Business Tips. Other than that, God bless. Talk soon.